I think that, Usyk can use this as well to a great advantage for him in terms of, don't get me wrong, look, there's a lot on the line anyway for him in this fight, but fighting for the undisputed world heavyweight championship as well. I think the Ring magazine as well has also been added into this, and I think that that's fantastic. I think that it's going to be a massive thing now for him to fight for, as well as, of course, having the whole Ukraine situation. Like, he's fighting for his whole country. Not that he was always a proud countryman anyway, but right now he's really fighting for his country, and everything that's going on right there now is very sad. I know, but he can really lift the country by pulling off another victory against Joshua. Joshua was always, he's the perfect media guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's such a clean-cut figure and lives the life, looks the part. And I think the media maybe hasn't really helped him, because it has really built him up to be this unbeatable human being that a lot of people, I think, looked at him in that way and thought that Joshua can't be stopped. Look at the size of him, look at the shape that he's in. And then you get this was the danger about the Usyk fight. Like, you get this Ukrainian coming in that, of course, to boxing fans, he's like unbelievable. But to the normal person that's just eardropping onto fights and fights is happening, he's kind of unheard of, and, doesn't really do well in the media apart from a few tricks. And I like, very nice. I'm feel, all this kind of carry on. Like, he is kind of an unknown. And when he went in there and beat Joshua in a pretty comfortable fashion, I think it really dented people's persona on Anthony Joshua. And I think that's why Joshua has so much to prove now in this fight. And it's really been showing, though, like the way that I don't see him on social media as much. He's been out there in Saudi Arabia for a long time now in camp, really isolated himself away from things. And once again, he just looks in absolutely phenomenal shape. So I see a lot of people really looking at him as an underdog. But I definitely think that they shouldn't be taking him as lightly as they are. If we look at history, it's worked for him before. He got beat by Ruiz and went out to the desert again and revenged that loss. So he did. So this is probably a good omen for him. And I think that this could be a mentally a good thing for him as well, knowing that, well, I've been in this situation before. I've come out to the desert before and it's worked for me, and I have got into the ring and I have revenged my defeat previously. So I think that this could be something that's very good for him, and most importantly in a mental aspect as well, because there's going to be so many demons going through Joshua's head right now because of the way that he was beat by a smaller guy, a lot more skillful person, somebody that people never really rated too high, as I says, because he doesn't have great English. He wasn't massive in the media, wasn't hyped up to be the next big thing. But any boxing fan, as I says, that knows Oleksandr Usyk knows that he is unbelievable. And he mightn't look much sometimes, but his distance, his timing, his ring generalship, the way that he controls the fight, controls the ring, he is definitely like one of the best fighters ever, really, I think, There's lessons that you can learn in a fight. Against certain opponents. And Joshua will understand that he was outboxed in his last fight. The smaller guy, the speed work, the hand, the movement around the ring, his foot, Usyk's footwork. But how do you beat that? Like if somebody is very, very good at that, it's very hard to throw them off it unless you get inside, unless you rough Usyk up, you use your massive strength and just bully Usyk through the rounds. That is the way that Joshua can cause havoc with Usyk if he goes in with that type of a game plan. But also, Usyk is such a hard man to get in at. And when you are inside, he's such a very smart fighter that he'll tie you up, he'll move around, and he'll get out of that situation and diffuse the whole situation that Joshua gets himself into. So for me, I think people are taking Joshua very lightly this time around. which I think is a mistake. Usyk is going to come in and do the exact same thing. He's going to come in, he's going to outbox Joshua, and I think that he's going to see the weaknesses that Joshua showed previously in the fight that Usyk could have capitalized on, but I think that he didn't realize that he would ever get into that situation. He hurt Joshua a few times. He could have put the pressure on and maybe put Joshua down or stopped him late on in that fight. But I think that it's going to be the very same, very similar victory for Oleksandr Usyk with a possible late round stoppage. But if I was putting money on this one now and I was going with it, I would go Oleksandr Usyk points decision, comfortable one again. But people can't underestimate Anthony Joshua. And in the heavyweight boxing, it doesn't matter who you're in with. Andy Ruiz proved this. Like, one shot can change everything. And Joshua is the bigger man. Yes, Oleksandr Usyk can take a punch, but you have 10-ounce gloves. And that's one thing now that I've been seeing on social media. Anthony Joshua used to always wear rival gloves. Now he's wearing Everlast. He's wearing Grant gloves. He's wearing the smaller, less padded gloves. So Anthony Joshua is going in to do damage this time around, you know? And I think that he is going to stick it on Oleksandr Usyk, but I think that Usyk is just, his boxing IQ, his brain is just unbelievable. And I think that he's going to be able to diffuse the situations with Joshua, and Oleksandr Usyk with the unanimous points won.